that y'all's week is going well. We're almost there. It's the end of the day Thursday, or I guess midday Thursday. Almost end of shift for me. And my name is Abby. I'm the health fitness professional here at the Houston site, and I'll be leading our Flexology class for today. All you're going to need is a mat, and then I'm going to kick off my shoes because I prefer mobility with no shoes, but if you want to keep yours on, go for it. We're just going to go over the couple things that we have running in February. We have our winter games, which is going to be our biggest event that we have in February. And that the opening ceremonies for winter games starts tomorrow. So registration closes tomorrow morning. So if you've not registered and you want to be a part of it and participate, please go ahead and sign up so that you get added to a team and join the opening ceremonies for tomorrow. And if you're at the Houston site, we are for our PR board, which we change out every month. We are doing we're tracking our reps on the PR board in the fitness center. So come on down, track your reps, write your name, get your credit. Next, we have our cooking demo, which happens every third Wednesday of the month. So I believe not next week, but the following, Jenny will be making cheesy beef and veggie burritos. And I'm very excited about it. That's all I have. I'm gonna stop sharing and we're gonna just go ahead and jump right in, get started. So again, like I said, no equipment needed, just a mat or just a comfortable space on your floor. So if you're like, I don't need a mat, I'm on my carpet at home, then go for it. I'm gonna set my timer up. If you're recording your workout, you can go ahead and start it. And we're gonna bring hands up. So we're gonna step feet about hip width apart. So feet are under hips, core is engaged, posture's nice and stacked. So our rib cage is sitting over our hips. We're gonna raise those hands into the air. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale, interlace the fingers and lean to the left. Inhale here, just getting a nice stretch in the line. And as you exhale, you can come back to center. And then as you inhale, we're going to lean to the right. Inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale and lean to the left. And you can let those fingers kind of fall apart. And we're going to like reach as if we're holding a block between our hands. We're going to reach over. That foot might come up off the floor just a little bit if you're tight in those lats. And through the hip and bring it back to center. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So lean to the right, holding that block between your hands. Reaching, really deepening that stretch through the lats. Bring it back to center. And then we're going to reach for our toes. Inhale. Exhale. Grabbing the backs of your thighs, calves, or ankles, and pulling chest in. Inhale. Exhale, and I want you to crawl it out to go ahead and crawl to your mat for world's greatest stretch. So we're gonna step it back into a plank position, and we're gonna bring the right knee forward and drop the left knee to the ground. So both hands are on the inside of this right leg and lift right arm. Inhale. And then it's going to be a dynamic. So we're going to rotate that left arm under and then reach it out and stretch again. Inhale. Exhale, rotate that arm through. Thread that needle and then up. Inhale. Exhale. And then you can place both hands back on the ground. We're going to step knees back together. Step that left leg forward and drop the hip towards the floor, lifting the left hand, reaching down, threading through, and then back up. Inhale. Exhale and rotate through. Inhale. And exhale and rotate. All right, you can step those knees back together. And we're going to bring hands under shoulders, knees under hips, untuck the toes, and we're going to drop the belly towards the floor and lift the chest and chin. Inhale, and we're going to do some cat-cow. So we're in cow. And then we're going to exhale it, and we're going to tuck the pelvis in towards the rib cage and drive through the palms of the hands to round the upper back. Inhale. Exhale and drop it back to cow, lifting chest and chin, dropping belly towards the floor, really dramatizing the arch in the spine. Inhale, exhale it back to cat, driving through the hands. Inhale, exhale, and drop belly back. Inhale, exhale. And then tuck the pelvis one more time, and we're going to go into cat one more time. And then you can sit it back to child's pose. So walking those hands forward, pushing the booty back, and coming to rest. But chest, let that forehead fall to the floor. Leave those hands out in front of you, getting a nice stretch in the upper back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to bring it back to tabletop or quadruped position, but we're not done with that child's pose. So we're going to take the knees a little bit wider. Now, for this, I recommend, if you've never done, we're going to do frog pose. So frog pose, we're going to take our knees about as wide as our mat, and we're going to point our toes in opposite direction. This is really going to target those hip flexors, and you might have a limited range of motion here. So instead of just sitting back and holding it, we're going to pulse forward and then go and really feel that stretch in the inner thighs and in the front of those hip flexors. And then we're going to come back forward. So we're not going to rest like we would in child's pose. We're just going to press and kind of pulse, stretching, and then coming forward. Just a couple more times. And warming up those hip flexors. And if you're like, I got plenty of mobility, then you can rest there. You can bring the knees back together, but we're not quite done loving on those hip flexors. We're going to take it into that low lunge position. So come up onto the knees and step right knee forward. If you want a wall for support for this or a chair, you can always place your palm on a wall or chair for support. We're just going to drop our hips forward. I want your knees to be not go over your toes. So I want them to be tracking with the toes, which means it's over, or they stay behind the toes. The farther you walk your foot, the more range of motion you're going to have for this left hip. And I'm just leaning forward, trying to keep both of my hips forward and not rotating in towards that hip, because we really want to keep it straight so that we're really getting the front of that quad and those deep hip flexors. Inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to try to relax those muscles and get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Inhale. And exhale a little deeper. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Come back onto your knees, and we're going to swap sides. So we're putting our right knee on the ground, stepping left foot forward, and dropping the right hip forward. Everybody has a tighter side. Mine tends to be my left side, so I can't quite go as low. So I don't need to walk this left leg as forward. We're going to inhale. And then exhale and relax those muscles and try to get deep into that stretch. Inhale, you might come up a little bit, creating a little bit tension in those muscles as you inhale. And then exhale and relax those muscles, getting deeper. Inhale and exhale. And then instead of bringing these back together, I want you to push back into a runner's stretch. So we're going to kind of hinge at those hips. And we're going to come up onto our heel and pull the toes towards the shin, stretching the back of the hamstring and the calf. Reach the toes. Pull chest in towards the thigh. Keep that leg straight. Try to keep that knee straight. Keep it from bending. And so if you're not grabbing your toes and your knee, if you're grabbing your toes and your knee is bent, I want you to try to straighten that leg and walk your hands up to the top of your thigh and just press forward and keep that knee straight. That's really what's going to help stretch that hamstring and those calf muscles. And then we're going to swap sides. So put that right knee and then let the left foot come forward, straightening that leg. Reach for the toes or place the hand on the hip. And hold. Inhale, exhale, and try to get that to stretch a little bit deeper. And again, really focus on trying to straighten that knee out. So if you're bent, bring those hands up. I want you to go ahead and come to your back where you're going to lay down into a supine position. And we are going to raise the right leg. And we're going to drive through the toes, grab the back of the knee, and straighten out the left leg and try to pull that leg in. It's going to, again, stretch that hamstring. If you need to bend your knee a little bit, you can. You're going to pull that in. And as you interlace your fingers, you're going to place them against the back of that knee. And I want you to kind of resist against your hand for a second. We're going to inhale. And as you inhale, resist against that hand. And then exhale and try to pull that leg a little bit closer. Again, drive through that heel. So we're not pointing our toes up. We're driving through the heel to straighten that leg out. Pull that in. And then we're going to swap sides. So let the right knee fall to the ground, lift left leg, interlace those fingers, bracing at the knee joint and pulling in. And straighten, drive through that heel. Inhale, resist against, and then pull closer. And if you need to bend that knee, maybe you can't get that leg straight when that other leg is on the floor, you can bend that knee and hold that in. And go ahead and plant both feet on the floor and cross the right knee, the right ankle over the left knee. And then we're going to pull that right leg in towards the left leg in towards the chest. And we're going to go into figure 4. You should feel this in your piriformis, which is going to be that wraps around the glute. So you're going to feel it kind of in your right glute. And if you want to feel it a little bit deeper, pull that leg in a little bit. You can grab the front of your knee or the back of your thigh for this one, whatever is more comfortable, whatever mobility that you have. And then slowly let your leg fall to the ground, and we're going to swap sides. So plant the right leg and cross left knee, left ankle over right knee. Inhale, and then pull that leg into chest. If you feel a little bit of a pinching on the medial, on that medial inner side of the knee joint, you can flex your foot. So you're going to pull your toes towards your knee, and it should protect that knee joint, and you should feel that tension release. But again, the main place that you should be feeling this is in the back of that left glute. Inhale, exhale. You can let those feet fall to the ground. And I want you to bring your arms to a T positioning at your sides. And you're just going to bring those knees together and then just let them fall to the right. Getting a nice twisting rotation in the mid to low back. Inhale, filling the belly up with air. Exhale, and we can rotate those feet back to center and then let them fall to the left. Inhale and exhale. Bring you back to center and then letting them fall to the right again. Inhale, filling belly up with air. Exhale. Bringing it back to center, we're going to extend the left leg, but keep that right knee bent. Raise it up to where it's kind of making a 90-degree angle, and then we're going to let it fall to the left again. Try to keep both shoulders pinned on the floor so that we're getting the full stretch in the low back, and we're not lifting up and rotating our torso in with that leg. We really want that spine to twist. Inhale. Exhale. You can bring the right knee back in, straighten the right leg, and then bring that left knee up and let it fall to the right. Again, trying to keep the shoulders pinned to the floor so that we're not rotating that whole torso over. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Then come to sit in a crisscross applesauce position on your mat. So we're going to sit on those sit bones, and I want you to roll up so that you're, like I said, like sitting on those sit bones. So, and then I want you to stack your posture, roll your shoulders back and down. If someone were to come and pull a string going from the top of your head down the bottom of your spine, I would want you to just picture that and feel like someone's pulling on that string so that your head is stacking between your shoulders. And again, that rib cage is over those hips. Core is engaged. Drop those hands to your sides, palms to your sides, and drop right ear to right shoulder. Keeping those shoulders pressed away from the bottom, from the head, and roll the chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale. And roll left ear to left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale and roll the chin up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. And then let chin, and then right ear comes back to chest. Inhale. Exhale. And let the chin fall back to chest. Interlacing the fingers and letting them rest on the back of the head. Inhale. Give me a couple breaths here. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Roll the shoulders out. Thank y'all for joining Flexology. I hope y'all had a great week and that you continue to have a great week and a great weekend. Happy Thursday.
Thank you.
Happy Thursday. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Abby.